Hi everyone, this is Kate Rath one more time here making my dragon book cover for the giveaway of a handmade, hand-bound edition of Flipped for the new release. So in this video you'll see the dragon starts to actually look a little bit like a dragon and a little bit less like a lizard. Adding some more details to those feet, getting those scaly toes on still. They weren't finished in the last video. And so this is finishing them up, adding all the texture and detail to the feet. So while we're watching that, just in case you missed the first video, you can win this book. It's going to be a Coptic bound edition of Flipped. And so it's made by me, the author, and there's not going to be anything else like it out there. So it's one of a kind. Anybody can enter the contest. It's a Rafflecopter giveaway. So check out my website, www.katerath.com. On the main page, if you scroll down, the Rafflecopter's there until November 28th, at which time one lucky reader is going to get this thing. So this is just the front cover. The back cover is already made, and the inside of the book is signature style, which you'll get a look at that later on, and it's all hand sewn and everything, so it's pretty cool. At this point I'm done with the feet, and I am just kind of making things a little bit neater in places where like there's fingerprints or whatever, just kind of neatening everything out. And now I'm getting some clay together, and I've got the blue, the same blue as the dragon, and some translucent Premo. And I worked them together in something called a Skinner blend, which is just basically like a gradient from the translucent to the dark blue. And then I rolled it up into a roll, which polymer clay artists, they'll call it a jelly roll. And so the translucent is on the outside. I wanted to kind of have the scales fade out, so I wanted them to start deeper blue in the middle and then kind of fade out to that clear edge to look a little more glass-like, because in the book the blue dragon that's going to be on the cover, it's the iconic dragon of the dragon people, and it's this cobalt blue glass dragon that's it's like hanging up in the dragon caverns. I don't want to say too much for those of you guys who haven't read it yet. But so this is a glass dragon is what it's supposed to be. And so I kind of wanted to get that effect as much as I could. If you know anything about polymer clay, it's actually a plastic, and it comes out something like resin. It's got a bit of flexibility, but not all the colors give you that translucency, but you can get some. So that's what I'm trying to achieve with the scales. And I'm just going right up the tail, one at a time there. I'm just kind of attaching those scales on there, and it takes a while. So I'm smashing them out to get a really thin, kind of feathered, rough looking edge to kind of add texture to the edge of the scales, make them look like something that could slice you open or whatever. And that thin edge is it looks like the whiter part of it, and then the thicker edge gets just smushed into the clay body of the dragon. Now I'm blending in the sides there, blending it in on the other side, just making sure everything's all fixed together. And then I'll overlay some smaller scales along the edge of the bigger scales to kind of give it a more finished look, like it all belongs together. There's still going to be some others that you're not going to see in this video. They'll be next time around. And next up, the video is going to kind of skip here to the next part, because unfortunately my camera stops recording just randomly, and I'm just not the best videographer in the world. So there's the fins on the side of his face, and those were made with a wire armature. I kind of made him a little headband across his head with the little fins poking out, just the 3 spokes on each side, and then worked sheets of clay around that and around the spokes to get that look of the bone structure inside. And now it's on to decorating his head, giving him some cool hair or tendrils or whatever you want to call them. to make him actually look like a dragon, because this is really, the face, the head, that's the important part. I mean, it's all important, but the real important part for making him, not a lizard, but a dragon. So just working the little spikes all up, all along to the top of his forehead almost. He's got the ridge along there where I'm going to put in horns. So once I get all these spikes worked in, they start kind of longer and they go to shorter as they get a little more forward. Starts looking a little more together at this point. And then once I get enough of those in, I'm going to start working on the horns. And so here I'm mixing in a little bit of, I had some brown watercolor that I mixed into some translucent clay to just get a really light brown. And then I'm doing some kind of layering and slicing and striping of the clay and working it all together. And then again into a roll it goes. And the roll is twisted. And when you twist it, you get this really great spiral horn shape that looks, I think, pretty awesome. And you get some of that brown showing through to give it kind of a really stripy, but not, a perfect stripe, but fine stripes and different variations of thickness and everything to make it look pretty realistic as far as horns go. And I'm just kind of shaping them how I want them, and they just stick into those little hollowed out sockets that I made with a ball tool. And then you just kind of press the clay around there, and there they are. They're in there. It's very much the same process as the claws, which I showed you in the last video, but I didn't pre-bake the horns because I wanted to be able to arrange the shape of them and have them look right. So that's where we're at now. In the next video, we'll finish up a few small details on the dragon, add some embellishments to the cover and the holes for the binding, and then it's on to sewing after that. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and remember to check out www.katerath.com before November 28th, 2016 for your chance to win. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.